এবং স্যার ইন্ডাস্ট্রির বেশ কিছু মানুষ আছেন। শুরু করো মাসুম, স্যারের পারমিশন নিয়ে শুরু করে দাও।
স্যার শুরু করছি?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good evening, everybody. I am Dr. C.M. Hussain, Head of the Department of Pharmaceutical Science and Technology. Kindly unmute your, kindly mute your mic. Some noise is okay. Okay. So I am the moderator of today's program. First of all, I heartily welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Soikat Moitro, Honorable Vice Chancellor Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal. He is our chief patron of this program today. And I would also like to welcome our dignified panelists of today's program. On behalf of Department of Science and Technology, Pharmaceutical Science and Technology, MAKAUT, I heartily welcome all the participants, learned faculty members, research scholars, and industry persons for attending this 5 days online FDP program on Road to IT-enabled Future Pharma Industry, organized by Department of Pharmaceutical Science and Technology, MAKAUT. Today, we have with us Professor Soikat Moitro, Honorable Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor Pranabes Chakraborty. He is the Director of Food, Pharmaceutical and Medical Science and Technology. We have also eminent panelist, the galaxy of stalwart person from industry and academia, Mr. Sanjay Mahapatro. He is the President, Technical and Operation, Medo Pharma Chennai. I welcome Mr. Mahapatro. Mr. Arjun Guha-Thakurida, Life Science Director, Canval Group Company. Arjunda, I heartily welcome you. Mr. Sampad Bhattacharya, former Vice President, Sun Global Operation from United States. Mr. L.K. Pradhan, Head Technical Training at MAKAUT Limited, Mumbai. Lolita, I will welcome you. And I think supposed to be present Professor Kunal Roy. I think he'll join later. He is the head of the Department of Pharmaceutical Technology, Jadavpur University. And I would also like to welcome Mr. Subrata Chakraborty. He is the Principal Advisor, GXP Fund Consulting Group. So now, without wasting much time, I would like to request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to deliver on an inaugural speech. Sir, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hussain. I believe that I am audible to all of you. At the same time, because of this gathering at my home, some noise may come that may, this create a problem in the audio route for this webinar. So that's why I was, requesting Dr. Hussain to complete my session as quick as possible. So, and I have, there's nothing to add as far as the value addition is concerned for these faculty development programs, as I am seeing that there are a galaxy of personalities who are having lots of depth, knowledge and wisdom in this field for the benefit of all the participants. And I would like to share some of our ideas and some of our thoughts for the future, for what we are observing and what is our perception regarding the, this pharmacy, this academic interventions in these pharmaceuticals, these industries and pharmaceuticals activities. Here in our countries, what we are observing that there is a tremendous growth opportunities for growth in pharmaceutical sector because of this, this latest development in IT sectors, and because of this massive emphasis on all the natural resources which are available in this country, particularly as if we consider the tremendous amount of biodiversity which is available, that is unique. Maybe it is not available in other part of the world. So that needs to be, this properly exploited, properly utilized for the benefit of our, this entire country, for empowering of our next generations with right set of skill, knowledge, and ability. And that's as this in the last few years, we are observing there's a significant changes has happened in as far as this IT, this emergence of IT enabled skills and technology is concerned, particularly of the emergence of 5G networks, big data analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, analytics, data analytics, and all these things. So these are creating, these unforeseen opportunities which we did not, this imagine even a few years before in this particular area. So now we need to have a proper blend of these two different, these schools, particularly the School of Biological Science, where pharmaceutical science is one of the domain or subset of this entire field, and another is IT, School of IT. And therefore, this we are going to give a lot of emphasis in imparting educations in the light of this, this new thought process, where we would like to empower and we'd like to impart skill to our researchers, to our new generation students in this particular area with a right set of, these IT related skills and a core knowledge in, this biological sciences related to pharmaceuticals, these technologies and engineering. That will give, this unique opportunity for not only for this this industrial growth and development, but also this career growth and development, economic provision. So everything is concerned with, associated with it. So with this, keeping this in view, we are like to introduce a numbers of programs, training programs, courses, maybe in different levels. Maybe in level, this today's we would like to introduce courses which can be used as a top-up skill development in the form of certification, in the forms of this postgraduate diploma, in the form of diploma. And then there will be a degree and postgraduate programs like conventional pharmaceutical programs, which is happening in other universities, other institutes as well. But massive emphasis on pharma analytics, pharmacovigilance, and applications of all these big data analytics, machine learning, applications of this how everything can be this cloud-based technology, how this can be best utilized for pharmaceutical sectors. How our students they can develop these different sorts of softwares, apps, and all these things we are discussing this regarding these opportunities to detect and identify the drug adulterations and all these things which are burning problems for this country, to assess the quality of it, and that is very much required, which is basically non-destructive analysis of all these samples in a very agile manner, that if it's possible using this this IT-based these knowledges and skill. And there are more and more opportunities. I believe that all our who are experts who are present over here, they will throw lights in these new areas for inspiration, for motivation of all the learners who have been assembled over here for this developing new ideas, new thought process. And by 2030, I believe, because of all these, this emergence of subjects, areas, skills, and all these things, we will be able to develop, generate numbers of new professions in these pharmaceutical sectors, apart from this traditionally existing. I do not know whether the traditional people are talking about this, that many of the existing conventional traditional professions will no longer exist by 2030, and by this time there will be emergence of new areas. So how best we are adapting our this changing scenario for this embracing these new skills, new thought process, new ideas, and all these things for managing this change. So there lies our our test and our these applications in this ever-changing scenarios. So with this, I would like to congratulate Dr. Pranabes Chakraborty, Dr. Shyam Hossain, who have taken lots of interest and lots of this pain in organizing these faculty development programs, and this will be in a sustainable manner. That means over the year at different phases, at different levels, different devs, assembling personalities from different backgrounds, this process will be continued. We would like to develop a massive network and collaboration, large-scale integration. This is very much required. That is this abysmally absent in this country, the large-scale integration. We would like to develop a large-scale integrations of all these, these pharmaceutical knowledges, direct knowledge, primary knowledge, secondary knowledge, tertiary knowledge, whatever is there in the different formats, for this churning the entire systems, and for this generating new things out of it. So I believe that this is an initiation, a small step in that direction, but we are hopeful. and we are confident that all our this personnel of pharmaceutical academics and pharmaceuticals these departments and pharmaceutical researches along with all other stakeholders, they will be able to do it. And with this belief and with this conviction, I'd like to conclude. Thank you, and my best wishes to all the participants. I wish all of them a very, very effective, engaging, and interactive learning. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable speech and suggestion, inspiration, and support. We'll try to follow your advice in future. So, Professor Kunal Roy, Department of Pharmaceutical Technology, Jadavpur University, he is the head of the department. He has just joined. On behalf of Department of Pharmaceutical Technology, MAKAUT, I would like to welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So now I would like to request Mr. Sampath Bhattacharya, he is Global Operation Head, San, to say a few lines on this relevant topics.
Good evening, everybody, and Honorable Professor Saikat Mitra, Professor Pranavesh Chakrabarty, Dr. C.M. Hossain, and fellow panelists and the participants. Thank you very much for inviting me, first of all, for this noble initiative. The topic is really a topic close to my heart, which has been selected. And first of all, I'm a great supporter of the faculty development program. IT-enabled manufacturing and also development would be the order of the day, and especially in the in view of that, which is in the new horizon, is the manufacturing 4.0. And this manufacturing 4.0 and pharma is not exception. And we have the pharma 4.0. And for understanding pharma 4.0, the understanding the IT-enabled process development, IT-enabled manufacturing technology, IT-enabled research is a very relevant topic and apt for that day. So far as FDP is concerned, there are plenty of examples, and having some program of this kind is just one step forward. But there are multiple ways of collaborating with the industry, government, regulators towards this objective. An example of this kind exists in the other parts of the world. For example, in US, there is a platform called NIPTE, National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Technology, which is a consortium of 17 universities of US, top-ranking pharmaceutical education offering universities, which is at present presided over by Dr. Azad Hussain. Everybody knows his name, ex-direct deputy director FDA, and of course, is a renowned person. I would say he fathered the process analytical technology and also IT-enabled manufacturing. What you are seeing today, he's one of the supporters and who parented to some extent, along with some of the colleagues in this direction. And this is a kind of consortium. Here, what we see in the Western models is that universities, government agencies like FDA, the research institutes, they collaborate, and industry for faculty development problems. There are physical movement of the people for a defined tenure from industry to academics and academics to industry for specific projects. And today, the major guidelines which FDA is publishing are the output of that. The fantastic work on material science in pharmaceutical world has been done by an university called Day-1 University, and FDA has collaborated with them, industry have collaborated with them, and you have a wonderful database generated. And in that process, the resource of the university is available to the industry and the regulators, and at the same time, the regulators and industry provide their input. It's a collaborative effort Of course, I'm talking about a very long shot, but there are examples. And I'm thankful that at least some kind of initiative has been taken. And finally, the faculty will be benefited, and it will percolate down to the students. Ultimately, students are the output of the university, and that will benefit the industry and the regulators as well. And overall, that is the purpose, what I believe. And I wish the organizers, the universities, and the sponsors a very successful outcome of this program. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Now I'd like to request Mr. L.K. Pradhan to say a few lines on the topic today. Lolita.
Pradhan sir, please unmute your mic, sir. LK Pradhan sir, please unmute your mic, sir. Mic button is off, sir. Sir, your microphone is off, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I like to thank Dr. Purnavesh Chakraborty and Dr. Hussain and Professor Saikat Mitra for organizing this kind of very good initiative for continuous development program for faculties, and especially by keeping some interactions with industry. Because this, as my previous speakers has already told, that ultimate objective of the development of faculties leading to the development of students, that is required for industry, for today's industry to run in a different way, because it is changing very rapidly. Particularly the latest kind of applications through IT is very much coming, and so the development in that direction will develop a lot of skills in the students, and ultimately that will be beneficial to all. And this is, as I understand also, that this is not one of kind of program. This is a continuous kind of effort. Continuous programs should continue, so that ultimately it will be beneficial to all. And that's all. I expect that a lot of good things, discussions will happen, and everybody, the participants, will benefit out of that, which is the basic essence of conducting this program. And once again, I thank you very much and wish all the best and very happy learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. L.K. Pradhan, for your valuable words. Now, I would like to request Mr. Arjun Ghotakarota to say briefly on this particular topic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you very much, MAKAUT Vice Chancellor Sir Saikat Mitra, my own principal, respected Sir Purnavesh Chakraborty, Professor C.M. Hussain, who is also the co-host and the department head of MAKAUT, Mr. Sampath Bhattacharya, our senior and very respected personality in the industry, Mr. Lalit Pradhan, a celebrity who is well known in the industry, and my fellow colleagues with whom I grew up in the same rooms in my hostel days. Sanjay Das Mahapatra, with whom we shared the same meal when we were in hostel, and Subrato, with whom I'm working even today also very closely, and we had worked together. So the world for pharma is pretty small, as we can see. Over the last 30 years, what I have observed, I would like to tell all the students, 121 attendees here, that when we passed out pharmacy, there were small shops in various streets of Kolkata, um, which were air-conditioned shops, and it had the luxury of a computer sitting in, uh, you know, these air-conditioned shops, and some people used to do some work, and that's what interested me to know what's that going inside. Then I can have some little air condition also and enjoy my life. I never knew that I will land up doing things, way beyond that. And in the last 15 years of my career into the pharma, where I had mainly worked on the areas of, compliance, IT integrations, pharmaceutical application integrations, almost all types of manufacturing execution systems or ERP systems or track and trace systems, which I will talk about a little later, when my session comes in a few days from now. What I realized in these many, many years of working is that, when we came out from college, we were molded out from directly the oven. We passed through the same grills of learnings like all of us. We all learned the same subject, but today we are all doing something else. So what has changed? Yes, physically, I have changed. I was looking young, and now I have definitely started looking different. But what changes you is how you look at your life 20 years, 30 years from now. You have to decide today. You have to start liking the subjects which you have not even heard about. And that is what Professor Shaikat Mitra, Honorable Vice Chancellor, had been talking. Artificial intelligence is no longer something which is 30 years down the line. It's already there. We are talking about Pharma 4.0. Many people, when I start hiring, I ask them, have you heard about ISPE? Have you heard about the institutions called IVT, Institute of Validation Technology? Have you seen what sort of guidances these institutions offer apart from education? These institutes are created worldwide by regulators coming together with the industry, and we have written lots and lots of nice guidance documents for the industry, and which young pharmacists, especially those who are coming out, those who want to understand the industry, they definitely should go and read these documents. And these are readily available for you young members also, who can join at a very, very reasonable rate, especially students. And you will get online access, which was not there, even like a couple of years ago. Because of COVID, these are all made available free of cost. You can have, also avail lots of webinars from ISP India. They had conducted more than, I believe, nearly 100 plus webinars. Please go and see. They are all free of cost. They are coming up. And, when we were meeting last year around September, there was a meeting conducted by Pharmexil along with Ministry of Commerce, along with Department of Pharmaceuticals, and the biggest decisions which were being taken was being considered pharma as a national security topic. So all IS officers across all various departments within Delhi, they unilaterally said pharma is no longer just a industry, it is a national security topic. And the respect which they gave to pharma in 2020 will continue. So it's a new life for all of us who are in this practice of pharma. So we should be very proud, first of all, that all of us have joined the profession. We have made the profession, built it step by step. All of us have contributed. It's not just one person, one industry, one. So it is all the educational faculty, intelligentsia, people from across the world, all of us, with our knowledge, experience, whatever we have, uh, all of us contributed to the growth of this industry. And I would respectfully thank, again, my fellow, participants, that thank you for giving me this opportunity to participate in this August session. And especially I forgot to mention Dr. Kunal Roy, professor, with whom we were very close, when I was doing my master's in Jadavpur University. And it's so nice to see all of you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Arjun Godhakarta, for enlightening us with your valuable speech. Now, may I request Mr. Dr. Professor Kunal Rai, Head of the Department, Pharmaceutical Technology, Jadavpur University, to say few lines.
At the beginning, I will congratulate Professor Provesh Chakraborty for conducting this FDP program, which I consider very relevant.
Sir, please unmute your mic, sir.
Kindly unmute your mic, sir.
Can you hear me?
Now you are audible, sir.
Okay. So at the beginning, I would like to congratulate Professor Provesh Chakraborty for conducting this FDP program, which I consider very much relevant for today's teachers. This is because we are living in the era of informatics. We have a lot of data with us generated from various processes. With the help of informatics, we can process and manage this huge amount of data within very short time. And pharmaceutical sector and industries are no exception, where informatics are applied, along with other disciplines. I will specifically mention about artificial intelligence and machine learning, which can be applied for development of drugs and discovery, apart from other industrial operation aspects. So I consider this topic is very much relevant for training teachers. And I have seen the table that is the various 6 topics. I think this with the help of these lectures, the teachers will get an idea about the use of artificial intelligence and informatics in drug discovery and development area. So I have a lecture on 26th probably on my own topic. So I'll discuss in further details on that day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now I request Mr. Subrata Chakraborty to say a few lines on this topic.
Please unmute your mic, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me for this program. I thank Honorable VC, Dr. Shaikot Maitro, my principal, Dr. Pranavesh Chakraborty, Professor CM Hussain. This is a great opportunity, in fact, to, collaborate with industry and academia and, to learn on the topics which we have selected. I also, with due respect to all the panelists, I would like to say that, the topic which you have selected is of great importance today. Because I think Pharma 4 or Industry 4, which we have been talking about, I think this is not a new subject or new name which we are listening. This is there in the industry quite some time. We are late as a pharma industry. And the one reason what I find important is, we still lack the confidence to, take over those industrial revolution, bring in new technologies or go ahead with implementing those changes. I think somewhere or other, I mean, we need to really, train ourselves to adopt those technologies quicker. Because today, adopting Pharma 4 is not an option. It's a bare minimum need to sustain in this industry. Now, to do that, I think this is the platform where, because if we need people to come in and, deliver on these aspects, we really need them, to be trained at, colleges or universities. And to do that, it's very important that, it starts with the faculties to know and understand the requirements and train them, build the curriculum accordingly, and train the students who can come in and help in adopting these new technologies. I think this is going to be a very interesting discussion coming few days. So next 5 days are going to be really engaging, I can understand. Thank you very much again for inviting me, and look forward to have a great session forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Subrata Chakraborty, for your Thank you so much. Am I audible, Prem Kumar?
Sir, your voice is breaking somehow, sir. Sir, please continue, sir. It is now okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Subrata Chakraborty.
Thank you.
So today, our eminent speaker, Mr. Sanjay Das Mahapatra, he will deliver presentation. Before introducing him, I would like to request our director of the school, Professor Pranabes Chakraborty. He is Director of Food, Pharmaceutical and Medical Science and Technology, to say brief on the particular program. Sir, please.
Shubho Sondha. Very good evening to all my dignitaries, panelists, specifically our honorable and thought-provoking Vice Chancellor, Professor Shoikat Moitro, my student and head of the department, Dr. C.M. Hussain. It is right at this topic we have chosen because beforehand we were discussing what is the paradigm change is coming in the pharmaceutical industry, as in other industries already it has crawled. So at that time, I suggested the department and the Vice Chancellor that we will arrange number of this type of programs, and I am happy that beforehand my beloved student, one of my beloved students, Subroto, when he was general manager in Cipla, he has given a very nice, elaborative depiction on this IT-enabled fundamentals and applications. That's why I am very happy whenever I have rang my beloved student Sanjay Das Mahapatra, Subroto Chakraborty, Arjun Gotakurta. They are my students, and now they are very big guys in the pharmaceutical world. In the career, they have gone up, and in society also, they have lot of contributions. Immediately, they, in one phone, they approved my thought to have such type of program. Then my beloved friend Sampad Bhattacharya, he's a big name in the pharmaceutical industry, as you know. He immediately told that I'll join here, no problem. Then I contacted my brother Lalit Pradhan. He also encouraged in the same manner. And when I talked to Dr. Kunal Rai, one of my junior brother in Jadavpur University, he also told me that I am there. So with the help of these dignitaries, because they may be my close, I was telling beforehand to Vice Chancellor, it is really a get together for me. And we are lucky, our department is lucky to have so many gigantic figures in pharmaceutical industry in one platform. And as you know, Dr. Kunal Rai is also one of the most eminent scientists and renowned scientists throughout the globe in computer-aided drug design. I am really thankful to all of you. I am overwhelmed and conveying my warm wishes and personal regards to all of you. I am conveying my warm wishes to all the participants, conveying my personal regards to all the directors of the different schools, professors, head of the departments, and learned faculty members from different colleges throughout India. We are really happy that you have come and joined to make it a grand success. I think with the help of you people, we can organize these type of seminars, not only the seminars, but also we can develop our department in the university to a great extent. We need your support, your suggestion, your advice, and particularly our Vice Chancellor is very much thoughtful about this to make relation this academic industry academic interaction. And as you know, who have worked with me, who are my students, who are my friends, who are my colleagues, that always I used to say, if the industry and academics will be, so to say, in the opposite direction, then we cannot develop. Because a very peculiar thing is there, industry people used to think who they are in the academics, they used to read books, commit to the memory and vomit to the paper. And the academicians, they think who they are in industry, they don't read, they just work. So we should not take any suggestion from them. This is absolutely a wrong idea, wrong conception, wrong perception. If we cannot add theory and application together, it will be absolutely ventureless. It is of no use. That's why we are trying our level best from the Department of Pharmaceutical Technology to have a strong collaboration with the industry and academics so that we can go up by the generous hands of our industry and academic people. With this, again, I am conveying my warm wishes, heartfelt wishes and regards to all the participants, all the panelists, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, our professors, our head of the department, Dr. Hussain, and the learned people who are in front of us. We can learn from you. We can grow the perceptual level. Then after again going through the book, again coming to you, we will be developing our conceptual level and ultimately knowledge, which will be percolated, transformed to the students, and ultimately a big family of pharmaceutical industry and pharmaceutical technologists in academics and industry will develop. With this, I am thanking you all. Over to Professor Masoom.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your thought-provoking, positive and motivational speech. Now, let me introduce our eminent speaker today, Mr. Sanjay Das Mahapatra. Mr. Sanjay Kumar Das Mahapatra, he is currently President Technical and Operations Made from Chennai. Pharmacist by profession, he has over 28 years of experience in the area of quality assurance, total quality management, GMP inspections, plant operation, vendor development, warehouse management, projects and international business. He has developed these skills over the years through a wide range of exposure while working closely with plant operations, implementation of QMS at corporate level for units at multi-locations consulting assignments. He started his career with Zydus Cadila and later moved to Aristo, Microlab, Famicare, FDC Corporate, and now engaged with Medopharm, a Chennai-based pharmaceutical company as President, Technical and Operations Director at Medo Europe, London, UK, under registration. He is also a technical advisor to US-based GMP consultancy firm, visiting consultant to oversee pharma companies, manufacturing unit, undertakes Greenfield project, active member of Tamil Nadu Pharmaceutical Sciences Welfare Trust, where he is involved as a trainer and contributes to the web magazine. On multiple occasions, he has participated as speaker at IPA, RDMA forums, and arranged for industry people. He also acted as a visiting speaker at Ramachandra Medical College, Chennai, Madurai Medical College, Madurai, of India. Now, without wasting much time, I would like to request Mr. Sanjay Das Mahapatra to deliver your presentation. Sir, please.
Thank you for introducing me. I hope I am audible to all, clear and loud, yes, because I will be the person now taking you through the journey of the revolution which has come in pharma. So let me thank the platform MAKAUT, and I remember Maulana Abdul Kalam, a respected name, whom I could interact once when he came to Ahmedabad to inaugurate Ramanbhai Memorial Hall. So we had a drawing room gossip kind of thing. So such a simple person, but such an eminent person, eminent scientist, but a good professor. So I remember that day when I met him and when I see his name in that platform where I am going to talk today evening to all of you. So good evening, all the members whom I cannot see, the faculty members. And let me thank my teacher, Professor Pranabes Chakravarti, who has opened the door for me and given me an opportunity to come and speak on this platform. And I also thought that this is a good opportunity, like a win-win situation where academics and industry come together and there is no boundary or bar in between. And also this is a time to give back something to the society from where we learned. We should be also the people who should give back to the society to understand that the future who is going to take over us in the coming days, they must be smarter than us, more tech savvy, and they understanding that India is the pharmacy of the world. And we need to survive all the challenges in the coming days, which are becoming more and more stringent, because the more we go, the more the requirements are becoming stringent. And if academics think that industry people only work, they don't read, let me tell you on the lighter part that if I am not going through the updated guidelines and 3 months I'm out of that, then I'm a backdated person like Ambassador Carr today. So because those regulators, they learn from the mistakes of the industry, they revise the guideline, they come back and see that if we have implemented that or not. So that is the reason we have to get ourselves updated every day to understand. It is rather more than a industry, I will tell, it is a sophisticated university where we are getting ourselves updated every day to meet the challenges and meet the requirements of the regulator. Because we are the country, as I told you, we are the pharmacy of the world, where we need to comply the requirements of all the regulators who are coming to inspect us from all over the globe. So this is the flexibility we have to adopt, where we can qualify all of us, our things throughout their requirements. So obviously there are opportunities. It comes with the challenges in place. and change is dynamic. So that is the reason we need to continuously upgrade ourselves. And one thing I could understand, that the courses been designed for qualifying, getting graduated or masters, they are designed long back, and they might not be as updated as the norms what industry is actually following today. So there is a gap, and it is a fact that the graduates coming out are not industry ready. So this kind of platform, I will tell, rather than making it more formal, it can be like a routine classes, like how a professor or a lecturer is taking the classes of the student. Might be every week some or the other industry person, and because now post pandemic this video conferencing has become a routine, and even the colleges have come up with their own settings, so they can create a setup where the virtual classes can be taken, even incurring cost of their movements and coming back from the, even in the evening time post their office hours, they can take a 1 hour class to in different subjects to ensure that the students are being updated on a routine basis. That will be my suggestion to this platform. I leave it to the Honorable Vice Chancellor, because I am thankful to him also, because he has permitted this platform. And seeing his enthusiasm, this is my suggestion, what I am putting forward, that we are all ready to give our support. Giving 1 hour time or 2 hours time in a week is not a big deal, but we are there to ensure that the future pharmacist which comes and takes our chair are smarter than us. That will be my wish and dream, because the coming days are going to be more and more tough. Although the opportunities are there, growth is there, but it is going to be more tough in the coming days. So it is better to get prepared and understand the implementation part of the theory, what is learned, how it is getting implemented, what are the real challenges, and what are the real life examples, so that, and what are the tricks and techniques to understand the reality, so that when you come up, it is not to search a job, but the job will search you. Because let me tell you, today in industry, people are all over. There are so many graduates, but the true people who can add value are very few, because of the lack of understanding and awareness about the industry scenario. So these type of platforms are not only, it is a one time, but it is a requirement full time, and it should be added into the calendar of the faculties, that there should be routine classes every week. At least one industry person should talk on the virtual platform in an informal manner, as if they are also one of the faculty members. And this is as a service. It is nothing to cost to the university, but it is like a service can be provided to the students, and also it will be a good platform for the faculties also to understand what is going on in the real life scenario, for whom the students are being prepared to come and join. So with this, I will stop, and thanking you again, because I have many slides to share with you. So somebody will be helping me to share the slide, or I have to share the screen. Dr. Hussain, are you there?
Sir, Hussain, sir. Hussain, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, somebody.
Sir, I will be there, but the PPT is not available with me, sir.
Okay.
Sir, from your end, if you can possible, sir.
Let me see, because I was not prepared. I thought as a host you will be putting the slide. Okay. I'm not very sure. My slide is visible to you all? No.
No, sir. So at the bottom, sir, below the mute and unmute, there is a green button, share screen.
I saw that.
That, sir, you have to click the first screen.
Files.
And
Let me.
at the right corner, there is share button.
No, but here it is.
Yes, sir, it is coming, sir. Yes, sir.
It is coming.
So please make it full view, sir.
Yeah, I'll make it.
Yes, sir.
Now this is okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So today, what I'm going to talk is the digital transformation in pharma industry. So this was not that digital when we joined the pharma, but we could see that there are rapid changes coming through these years, which has actually shifted the paradigm. It is not only in view of the COVID. Yes, COVID may be the reason to boost up the digitalization, but it is a routine which is being continued throughout and which has actually boosted at this moment. So the overview is that the digital transformation is affecting all industries, as we know very well, and which is changing the nature of work, the markets and the pace of innovation, and the pharmaceutical sector is no exception here. If you see the industry, the automobile industries, all the robotic things are coming, all automations are coming. In the mobile phones, you can see that the models are getting rapidly changed, and we sometimes think that we could have waited for some time. So that means what? The evolution of the digital transformation is too quick, and that is required also, because this is not the way we are handling the business now. We are all talking global business where manually things cannot be controlled. Even government has also understood the requirement of the digitalization. The highest, the example, the extreme example, what we can see in a remote village, they are putting the 2D code and telling that Google Pay or Phone Pay is accepted here. So you understand the level of digitalization which has gone to interior village level also in practice. So pharma companies have undertaken a huge leap in adopting the technology, and with digitalization becoming a new normal, the work environment post COVID-19 will change a great extent through the faster adoption of the digitalization. There was a progress, it is becoming faster because of this. So aligning with the current situation, pharma companies is seeing this as an opportunity to leverage a lot more digital adoption across the commercial supply chain, covering distributions and review and fulfillment of orders, virtual meetings, reduction of manpower through automations, adoption of software for auto generation of MIS reports, and feedbacks involving the less manpower. You have to understand, in pharma, we always tell that a pharmacist makes a mistake, it can take life of many hundreds of thousands, because a wrong thing, a mix-up, can be very fatal to the society, to the patients. A doctor can kill one person through his mistake, but a pharmacist makes a mistake, it is very fatal. So that is the reason even the regulators are also looking with a magnifying glass of all our activities, and all of sorts of risk assessments are done to understand that there is no minute risk left unattended which can create a fatal outcome to the sick people where we are providing them the medicines. So that is the reason manually we know that there is a term known as manual error. To overcome that, the digitalization is required to gain wisdom, to gather the data, to create the statistical thing. We talk about the artificial intelligence. This is nothing but some statistical forecast based on the past trend, which helps us to take our decisions in a right manner. So to improve the safety of the employees at workplace, also a lot of digitization has happened through the face reading, access control, and then temperature measurement, non-touch temperature measurement, thermal scanner. They're basic compared to the real scenario, what pharma sector is adopting as a strategy to survive the future competition of the regulator challenges. Because the regulators, every time they come, they do not come like the old people like previous visit 2 years back. They come with new agenda. They're not interested anymore to understand how do you operate your thing. They are interested to understand the fine gaps and the underlying risk which nobody might have identified. And through their tools and techniques, they are efficient people. And those observations are categorized based on the criticality of the things where things can go wrong. And then might be it will affect the business. Obviously, those kind of failures are unpardonable in pharma because it takes a toll of the total growth factor which has been designed as a strategic movement. So failures have no place actually, although there are GMP tools to handle failures, but not the regulatory failures. So what we are going to gain with the benefit through the digital transformation. So this is a business journey that uses technology as the vehicle, driving fragmented drug companies towards a harmonized ecosystem. So this is the key word here. And at the heart of that ecosystem is the lab, harboring a lot of data that could reveal the way forward through a turbulent marketplace, but only if the right tools are in the place to turn that data into meaningful insight and implement it within the enterprise as a whole. So that's the next frontier in pharma, and reaching it is increasingly essential for ongoing business success. So what actually we are talking here is that digital transformation is not only to operate the digital thing, but also to understand the collection techniques of the data. Datas do not give us insight. The datas are information scattered everywhere. And the more datas are generated, the more humanly we get confused how to utilize that data. So that I'll be talking in my next slides, how the datas are taken into account to understand and then take quick calls and to avoid lesser trials during the research and development, and how the forecast can be done by adopting the artificial intelligence concepts. So basically, there are three segments where the challenges are coming across. In the healthcare market, challenges are innovation and competition outside of the pharma business. So innovation is the answer to survive in this competitive world where off-patented drugs, lot of generic players are coming in, so a lot of cutthroat competitions are there. So if we don't be innovative, we are not adopting the innovations as our tool. We are not going to launch new research molecules every day, but we can stand alone from the competition if only we know how to introduce the innovations and then put it across in the market where the competitions are less. Increasing price pressure caused by the tightening market price regulations and patent expires of major blockbuster medicine. What happens generally for the multinationals who are the patent holders, when it gets off patent, then in that case, the prices that what they enjoy comes down to 10 times lower, where the survival becomes difficult because now a lot of generic players will be entering to compete. So in such cases where the cost has gone up and the profits are coming down, so obviously, and also the regulatory requirements are getting more and more tightened. So we need to find out a way out to survive with the business and also understand what are the innovative techniques to get into the market, into the cutthroat competition, where the market is volatile, the API prices are volatile, the regulations are coming, price controls are being introduced. So a lot of challenges are there in this place. So obviously we need to bring efficiency to overcome these challenges. So demand for a better data on the medicine efficacy and the patient quality of life. So this is also something where we collect data from the market. So pharmacovigilance, which was not heard before, now has become a hot topic, and it has become a requirement now to understand the requirement of the pharmacovigilance and adopt it, so that we understand that any risk anywhere in any corner of the world related to the molecule what we are also marketing, we should be proactive to understand and then introduce the correction factor so that the global healthcare, where we are the suppliers, need not affect the health in adverse manner, which might be a finding in another corner of the world. So new business models and ecosystem challenging the current way of business are also one of the challenges in healthcare market. Complex regulatory requirement. Believe me, this may be something what I am speaking, but this is a nightmare for any industry person due to the complexity of the regulatory requirements, where the requirements are becoming stringent and stringent. Every time they come, every month, there are new guidelines being launched. And it is not because this is their fancy requirement. This is because they learn from the adversities, from the failures in the market, from adverse drug reaction, from market complaints. So they also understand that these are the risks which not been covered in the GMP regulation. So now they also come and introduce those new rules and try to understand if we are following it religiously. So diverse and fast changing global regulations in pharma manufacturing and supply chain compliances are demanding infrastructure changes beyond the current readiness and capabilities. Now, I think Arjun is going to talk about the serialization and 2D that has a story behind of the supplies of the spurious drugs from China, mimicking as if these are Indian products, due to which the DGFT requirement came into place. And finally, other global companies in the other side of the globe, the regulators, the UK has also adopted those things to understand that through the serialization, they can protect the products genuineness, so that the no spurious drug can enter the market, which may be a fatal health risk matter for their patients. So that is the reason. And these things does not come cheap actually. These are very costly things. The hardware, the software, the change in the infrastructure, the training of the people to handle these who were handling the manual packaging all these days. So basically, this is a new dimensions which are getting opened. And understand the prices are coming down through the price control. API prices are going up due to the trade war. And we have to survive in between the complex regulatory requirement, healthcare market challenges, and also the operational challenges are also increasing. Now, even US FDA has also put their requirements in a very detailed manner. Even for the IT adoption, the digital platform adoption, they have a very exhaustive guideline where the integrities are checked, the qualifications are checked, because if a digital platform fails, it will become a havoc, because there will be no data on manual platform to preserve. Something gets crashes. Somewhere there is a hacking of the cloud server, then the whole company's activities will get closed. And I think recent in the COVID period only, I don't know how many people are knowing about this. The Dr. Reddy's, I think the cloud server got hacked, and they had to stop their plant operations, and everything totally got frozen for many days, I think multiple of weeks to recover the things, the data, and to get into the normal mode. So those kind of risk factors are also there, where the data can get hacked, leaked, or so that security, IT security is also becoming a very challenging situation nowadays. Operational costs, obviously it is increasing because due to the introduction of the more complex machines, the more complex systems, the manpower cost getting increased. So the GMP requirements are getting more and more stringent. So all these things are actually adding to the cost of the manufacturing, overall cost, where we need to survive in this mid of challenge through the smart adoption to introducing the economics in that, where the efficiencies can be built up. So I'll be making this topic, although this is a complex subject, but I will make it interesting by giving some real life stories where things can be viewed in a simple manner, because the terminologies and the theories may look very tough or complex, but in actual real life, it is the key word I will tell here is awareness. If a person is actually grounded and with complete awareness, he is looking through the things, a lot of innovative ideas comes. Once the ideas comes, we have to use the GMP tools to implement it, so that we know that the correct implementation of the ideas are in compliance with the regulatory requirement, So that is the basic mantra in short about the successful implementation to overcome the challenges. So it is obvious that these market challenges and the requirements can't be met with the current product, business model, and operations, because these are conventional and everything is getting backdated. The next day, today's GMP becomes bad practice tomorrow. So that is the reason all of us know that there is a small c in front of the GMP, which talks about current GMP, current good manufacturing practices. The word current has been introduced, the small c in front of GMP means today's GMP cannot be talked tomorrow, because by that time might be it will be considered as a bad practice. So therefore the pharma business transformation is inevitable, which will lead to the digitalization of the pharma products business model, operations, and ultimately the patient care. This is one part I'll be discussing in my next slides, thus entering the era of pharma digitalization. So overall, if you see internally, externally, pharma has to go through the digitalization, and the driving force, the key word is pressure here. It is not by choice, because nobody will like to spend money, a hefty money in the infrastructure to digitalize until there is immense pressure leading towards the need, or it is a regulatory compliance. So this pressure is actually accelerating the innovation. There is a pressure to optimize production, pressure to comply with the regulators in a world of both big data and big concern about that's data integrity. You will not believe there are a lot of big names, the big banners, which has undergone this dark phase of data integrity issue identified by the regulators. The businesses got closed, they got a warning letter issued, where a lot of recalls used to happen, registrations will get frozen. So it will completely shake the company's infrastructure, financial balance. There are companies, not to name, but got sold out because of this data integrity issue. So this is maybe a two-letter things, two-word data integrity, but this is basically the biggest challenge for the pharma industry to ensure that the routinely day-to-day, the datas which are getting generated are true to its nature, and they are preserved well, they are presented well, where the integrity is being taken care through the policies and through the practices and through periodical inspections. So as these and the other stresses contract around the pharmaceutical operation, many business leaders are re-examining their laboratory system, searching for opportunities to reduce the wasted efforts and increase productivity. In R&D labs, while a single study might produce billions lines of data, leaders want to know how to keep those data from lapsing into archives where it is difficult to access and offer no value. In QA, leaders are examining the new way to turn production data into insight, uncovering and removing the manufacturing bottleneck to achieve the higher throughput. Now coming to the re-examination of the pharmaceutical operations, let me tell you, till I have the comfort to survive and I'm earning a decent profit through my operations, I'm okay with that. So I'm in my comfort zone. But the moment it is understood that it is no more a comfort zone because my operation costs are not meeting my selling cost, it is costlier than my product, then obviously there has to be innovations in place. And in real life, in my case also, I can say a lot of innovative thoughts came across because to survive and not by choice. And few of them to indicate is that the earlier conventional wet mixing formulas got changed into dry mix, where the output became 4 times in the same capacity, in the same facility without going for a major expansion plan. The product became more stable being the dry mix formula, because a lot of smart excipients have come nowadays, which can really take care of the product in the dry mix formula. Earlier conventional formulas will have 15, 16 ingredients to formulate the tablets. But nowadays with 5, 6 ingredients, you can very well match. Now this is not only the thing, this can be holding good for the normal generic market or the domestic market. But when it comes about matching the innovator product, obviously you have to go formulate, you have to design your formula in line with the R&Ds, with the innovator formula to become a generic player in US or in the regulated market. To file a dossier and get it through, your product has to be apple to apple with the generic, the innovator product, you being a generic. So there also a lot of challenges comes to how to match those things, how to match the CDP, the comparative dissolution profile. All those things are a big challenge. So earlier R&D used to, now coming to the R&D lab, has the luxury to take 30-40 trials to establish the final formula. Nowadays, the IT platform is actually helping to understand the trend of the results through the statistical value from the past data, putting into the as a part of information, so that it gives insight that what my predictability through the artificial intelligence to understand that how the formula will behave, so that is drastically reducing the R&D trials to establish the final formula through the past data which got generated. If it is a manual form, I can guarantee you people will get lost in this, the volume and the quantum of the data. Nobody can understand how to utilize the data as a information to take calls to reduce the workload. That is only possible if I'm adopting the digital platform. I am creating a MIS report format where the data will give me the information as intended by me, and that gives me an insight or the wisdom to take calls how to reduce and bring efficiency in the development. Because with the new guideline of quality by design, R&D is no more away from the GMP circle. It is also being audited, inspected by the inspectors who are the GMP inspectors coming from overseas, to understand how the product has been designed, how robust it is, and the life cycle concept has also been introduced to understand right from the product takes birth to its end. When we are delisting from our license, it is our responsibility to monitor it on a continuous basis and to understand that the product holds good, although it is an age-old product. So all those concepts have come now, and R&D is also within the GMP circle, which is an auditable place by the GMP inspector. Now QA is no more that earlier conventional QA who only understands that, okay, it is meeting the spec or not. So a lot of insights are provided through the QA tools who will help to make the product more robust, to ensure that the variations are minimal, the failures are nil, market complaints are reduced. So QA also has a vast role nowadays. It is not only a general QA, QA engineering, QA documentation, QA IT, QA qualification, QA validation, QA document control. So lot of QA, even in R&D also, QA concept has been put, because as the concept of quality by design has come, so obviously QA interference and inputs are required. Even in quality control also, where the testings are done, they were earlier known as quality people, but because they are functioning, there also analytical QA concept has been introduced. So basically this pressure is driving us to improve ourselves and our performance and bring efficiency in that. So most of all, the pharmaceutical business leaders are asking how they can layer LIMS data, that is the laboratory information management system, on top of the data from the ERP system, sales record, financial reports, and more, creating a meaningful and a holistic story of the end-to-end operation, and using that story to successfully navigate today's business problem. So these are the tools which pharma people will be utilizing it, and they are utilizing. I have introduced the SAP LIMS in my previous organizations also, and that gives a lot of ease in working, generation of less documentation, all are in digital. It gives a high level of assurance related to the integrity, because they are all real-time entries been done in the digital platform with a digital foot mark. If somebody is changing it, then also the audit trail will be created. So that also gives a mental peace to the regulators who comes and inspects that yes, this organization is transparent. They have a digital platform where all the digital trails can be seen. So this is a win-win situation where we also have a peaceful sleep, and regulators are also convinced through the transparency by adopting those digital platforms. So earlier the data was getting generated to advance data analysis. As I told you that there was a time where the data were getting generated, but now the industry's digital maturity, many pharmaceutical companies have invested heavily in digital warehouses for their R&D and QA data. Digital warehouses means basically the digital platform where they are analyzing the R&D data to understand and from the statistical data, adopting the artificial intelligence, that what should be the next step in a proactive manner. Because reactive situations are very fatal for pharma. So it is always expected that pharma people have to work in a proactive manner, which the digital warehouse will be predicting through the artificial intelligence. And the QA data are generated based on the trends, based on the qualification report, based on the history. There are tools which we adopt, and one of the tool might be, it is not in the slide, I will tell. What we do is the product is the nucleus of all the GMP activities, what we talk, the environment, the practices, the data, the QMS. Finally, all are done to ensure the product in the nucleus which we are producing is the safest of nature, consistent, and it will give the desired result to the patient what we have claimed and intended for. So for that, the QA data are collected in the form of APQR, that is analytical product quality review, where all the critical process parameters and the variables are captured, which are trended to understand. It may be within the specification, which is very well complying, and the certificate of analysis is issued, but maybe it is hinting something that things are not right. The trend shows that tomorrow it may go out of trend, and after some time it may become out of spec also. So in those areas, QA data in the form of the trending helps the industry to understand that where they have to take the corrective measures well before even the damage happens. So the next frontier is to evaluate and perspective of all that data, translating it from inert information into organizational wisdom. That is what I was talking just few minutes back, that the information is of no use actually. I have information, but I am not utilizing it to my benefit. That can be utilized if I am converting into the organizational wisdom. And these advanced analytic platforms powered by the artificial intelligence and deep learning are becoming increasingly popular, helping business leaders to harmonize data and desperate success, including in many cases, retired legacy systems valuably inside the locked inside, and use it to uncover the opportunities for growth and lucrative direction. So basically what we are doing, we are learning from our data to evolve in a new shape, like how the mutants are coming, the mutation is happening, they are becoming more, the virus is becoming more strong. So we are also evolving in a more strong manner by strengthening our wisdom from the data which has been generated decades ago, but it was never a matter of importance until the time has come for survival. So from data generation to advanced data analysis, what exactly we are doing? The potential impacts on a business bottom line are huge in manufacturing environment. Labs can use data analysis to visualize the historic performance of certain active ingredients to predict future outcome. For example, these insights could eliminate costly rework, which also helping the labs better control their inventory. Another opportunity is to reduce the cost. So what is expected through this data advancement is that we make our activities very predictable. It is not living in the hand of uncertainty, but we are making it more predictable so that our decisions are more correct and the failures can be eliminated. And also it gives an insight that might be the process what we think is essential may not be essential anymore because there are smarter way to adopt alternative things to bring in the efficiency. Efficiencies are brought in two manners. One, people talk about cost cutting. It is not cost cutting. It is building up the efficiency in a smart manner where we are not compromising the quality of the product, but we are bringing intelligence and awareness to reduce the processing time. Example, I will tell you one small case study where we used to dry the sugar to use it for the amoxi pot clay formulation because it is a low RH product where the moisture should not be there, otherwise it will deteriorate the thing. Now the point is that, and it was taking lot of time to dry the sugar, a complete good shift to make the 8-lot sugar to bring the moisture content to the required level to mix it for making the dry syrup, dry powder for suspension. Then one day it came to my mind that why not I get the sugar in the required moisture content so that I need not dry it at my place. Then I had to go to that sugar factory, and then I identified that the moisture content what they give and they pack it and send it to us is what exactly I require. Then where it is going up, and then again I have to reduce it. Then we found that our dispensing booth is 50% RH, where it is absorbing some moisture and increasing the moisture content of the sugar, which we are taking it to the low RH and again drying it. Then a simple idea came into my mind. Why not the 2 bags can be separately stitched so that the outer dirty bag can be kept there, and the other bag we can directly dispense the gross weight by tearing the known tear weight of the poly bag, and then I bring it inside. Then I check the moisture content, and which was very well within the limit, and no drying was required. Believe me, that helped me to increase my productivity to 4 times, where my energy, my cost, my resources were getting wasted just to dry the sugar, where the process of mixing is hardly within an hour, but I am wasting my shift time just to dry the sugar to add it to my product before it goes for filling. So these are some examples why I'm telling you the real life example, just to correlate the theory and the simple practical way of adopting to bring the maximum efficiency, which is like a magic key, which suddenly increases your profitability by reducing your energy cost, by resources, and utilizing your facility in much better way, where you can give more output without compromising the quality of the product. Even the R&D environments, if you see, the advanced data analyst can help to learn and predict the future outcomes of the experiment as developed through the lean and efficient clinical trials. A recent example emerged from a genomics company that sought to identify ideal study subject within a large pool of potential candidates using advanced artificial intelligence to recruitment by 10%. Such examples will abound in the near future, helping companies age out of wasteful spending and direct their R&D expenses towards the drug development pathways that are likely to deliver sustainable business outcomes. So every small step we take at the bottom line is actually emerging into a big cost saving if you see the data. So basically this is a tagline where the data are converted into information, informations are converted into knowledge, and knowledge gives us wisdom, and this wisdom helps us to take the call to adopt the efficiency through the intelligent approach, through the awareness. This wisdom basically is giving us the awareness and the intelligence to take the smart call. And of course, we have to document all our trends, that how did I take my call to support my call or the decision to adopt the change control in my process. I need to give a backup of all the data information to the regulators to prove that how did I take this call, because in industry we cannot take anonymous call without any backup or any support or any trend. So a change control, what we feel, should be supported with all the relevant document to support my decision towards that change control approval. So in other words, I can say this is learning through relearning. Means what? I am learning from my past data. Means what? I created the data in the past, and it was a piece of paper which was filed as evidentiary proof that something happened and these are the records. But now going back and getting the wisdom out of it we are relearning our process to extract the continuous value from the R&D data. So it's that second piece, learning session, that stands to gain the most through the digital transformation initiative. As I told you, LIMS will help you in this case, where it gives a lot of information about the trend, about the data, and that electronic lab notebook. If I'm recording in a notebook, it is going to the document record room and it will be gathering dust. But if I'm recording in the electronic lab notebook, I can actually go through the data at a click of a button to understand if I need to evaluate something, I need to investigate something, I need to check the root cause for the OS or OOT. So all these digital platforms are going to help us in gathering the data in no time to take a right decision with the correct informations in place within a click of a button. So these are basically the innovative ways, and these are required, these are expected by the regulators also, and these are the tools and techniques which will help us to survive the toughest challenge of data integrity in the coming days. It is not only helping us to gather the wisdom through the trend, but is also helping us to adopt the transparent platform. By adopting the digital platform, it proves the transparency to, hello?
Yes, sir. Please continue, sir.
Yeah, my voice is audible, huh? Because I am unable to see you. Because
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your voice is audible, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So basically, what we are trying to prove by adopting this digital platform or the information technology, cloud server, all those things, this is basically giving two-way benefit. One is adopting this concept is giving us the highest level of transparency, where the real-time data are getting recorded, and the retrieval of the data is also very fast. While we talk about the globalization, and when I'm talking that India is the pharmacy of the world, then obviously it is not only restricted within the Indian territory, but also when we talk global business, then the data transfer, the data sharing is required in a very voluminous way, and that cannot be that scanning the papers all across and then sharing with our customers or the regulator. So that is the reason even the dossiers, what is getting submitted mandatorily has got converted into the eCTT format. Earlier it was CTT format, paper copy, but nowadays they also don't have place or space to keep those data. So that platform has been adopted even to submit our dossiers. So in all these areas, just to pull the data and create. Suppose earlier people were preparing the dossiers by compiling the data, which will take months together. Now it takes hours or minutes to compile a data, because as per the format, the data are pulled and filled automatically in the eCTT format, where the resources required to create the dossier are becoming lesser by the time. So people are utilizing that time in a quality manner, where the reviews are done for the correctors, for reviewing the trends, rather than the data entry operators who are manually transcripting the manual data into the format, where the possibility of the transcription errors are also unavoidable. To avoid all those things, this digital platform helps us in many areas to reduce the cost of operation, to prove our transparency, and to share the data with ease, getting the trends, and also adopting the trend-driven manufacturing. So what happens actually, the quality has a cost, and drug company knows this, and they know that the best way to keep delivering the high quality product is to drive the cost down in every dimension of manufacturing. This means using modern digital tools to capture the historic production data and make it available for analysis, giving QC teams the means to reduce the wasted effort and focus on the higher throughput without compromising quality. So let me give a real-time example. Because in the operation, there are a lot of variables, like the input materials what we purchase from hundreds of different vendors. If I change my vendor, the API may be same, but it may be matching the spec, the pharmacopoeia requirements, but the physical parameters and the other parameters, they may slightly vary. So every such slight variations in the excipients, in the API, in the formulation, in the person involved in taking the batch, suppose the operator got changed, he is a new operator, already been trained, but the tricks and techniques known by the old operator is not known to this person. So a lot of variable factors gets introduced during the operation. The machines which I was using earlier has gone old now, so which sometime may misbehave, sometime may be not giving the desired quality parameters. So with all these things, what is happening actually, there is a possibility where the chances of the failure becomes very bright, and cost of failure is a big cost for pharma companies, because this is a one-way traffic. I cannot go back and correct the things. I cannot separate out the drugs if something has gone wrong. So that is the reason the more and more automatic machines are getting procured, where it will give alarm. It has all the parameters been fed in the form of recipe, so that manual interference at the operator levels are ruled out, so that I know my validated process parameters are achieved to get the desired product quality parameters by freezing the recipe of the process, where no interference can happen at the lower level rather than the head level. So these kind of PLC mode operation, restricting with the passwords, getting the process automated. Then my senior of the industry is also going to talk about the process analytical technology in the coming days. He will explain this and the beauty of this, why this is an essential requirement in pharma today, that PAT, the concept of PAT to be adopted, because it generates data. The data can be digitally pulled to fill my digital batch manufacturing record, where the consistencies can be proved, the chances of failures will get reduced, because it is a science. If I give the right input, the right quality will come out. So how precision is my operation? That is the big question mark. That is the reason earlier we were using the conventional compression machines to produce the tablet and to measure it manually. But nowadays, the latest FDP machines in place, which is costing in multiple of crores, people are still going for it because they don't need recall due to the variation in the parameters, or due to the failure, which is very painful when it gets into the mode of global recall. So people are ready to spend a fortune in crores to adopt those automatic machines, where it generates the data. It is having the finest precision of the world, where the manual interference is minimal, and the consistency is maintained, so that the variation from batch to batch is minimal. So that is the reason today the manufacturing has become tech driven, where the PAT concept has been adopted, the printout concept has been taken, the LAN connection been given, where all the trends are getting tracked, even to understand the failure, to do a meaningful insight, technical inspections for the failure. All the data are captured online in real time, so that the real failure, the root causes can be identified, which was not possible while the manual BMRs were getting filled, because the authenticity and the reliability of the field data were always in question mark. So these are the things which helps us if we are adopting the digital platform. So it could be as simple as the sensor that automatically alerts. Suppose I am drying the product and I have a sensor which alerts and stops the machine. This is also automation. It may be in a smaller level, but it helps us a lot, so that it will help the product not to get burnt. If the thermostat is not working and the temperature is rising, the sensor will sense and automatically shut down the process, so that it will safeguard my product. So these are all the examples. There are n number of examples can be given, where in the real life we are taking the advantage of these digital inputs to safeguard our product and maintain the consistency. In the same way, the digital tools harmonize the disparate teams within an organization. They also harmonize diverse teams outside of it, creating new engagement models that will play an increasingly important role in supporting the collaboration across the geographics. Because now it is not only creation of the data, it is the instant sharing of the data. Suppose sharing with my customers, sharing with my PL holder, sharing with the regulators. So this is a Herculean task because the volume of the data is generated every day to produce a particular batch. Let me tell you, around 400 pages, which includes the BMR and BPR. So somebody has to fill up the 400 pages template by the end of the time the batch is packed. So you have to understand the quantum of the documentation a person has to do, apart from monitoring the process, testing the in-process samples, and also generating the data. So this becomes Herculean task, and a lot of manpowers are required to get engaged if I have to comply with all the current regulatory requirements to comply and to sustain my business. So obviously this manual is not the answer in the coming days, even not now also. So even a biotech pharma manufacturer that had outgrown in its urban headquarters added a state-of-art manufacturing facility outside the city limit, anticipating the challenges of exchanging data between their own downtown R&D labs and their new QC labs 20 kilometers away. Business leaders invested a digital, sophisticated enterprise ecosystem with a fully integrated cloud-based LIMS at its core. So what it is actually now, it is not expected. Earlier, there will be one factory where all the key people will be sitting, but now the concept of corporate has come, where the corporate quality assurance will sit, corporate operation will sit, and they might be having around 10 to 15 plants or more than that all across the globe, and they have to centrally control all those things. That cannot be that from every plant people are manually sending the emails and the data for them to review. So it is creating the MIS report for them as per the requirement, which gets auto-generated from the operations being carried out at the place with a real-time data, which can be seen by the person, concerned person, might be flying anywhere across the world, but he is in touch with his units in the digital format with a usage of iPad. He might be accessing data about the real time happening in any of his plants at his wish at the click of a button. So this is what is today's scenario, and it is going to become more sophisticated in the coming days. Data integrity regulations, as FDA 21 CFR Part 11 Annex 11 talks about the regulation of the data records and signatures. So one way we talk about the benefits of the digital platform, the one way it comes with its own challenges. You have to understand that the data which are getting scrutinized by the regulators, they have to be qualified as per the requirement of the FDA's 21 CFR Part 11 requirement and Annex 11. Otherwise, it will be a big failure where the observations will be categorized as critical, because if a digital platform misbehaves or the challenges are not being put across to establish the reliability, then of course it is a big failure as an organization for that company, which is unseen in the routine days but identified by the regulators. So while adopting these kind of platform, we have to understand that we adopt the platforms which are already tested and trusted, and it is recognized, the names are recognized by the regulators, rather than creating small homegrown, small softwares where the actual challenges and the risk factors are not evaluated. Okay, with a good intention, those softwares might have been implemented in place, but the complex process might not have been captured in a manner where the underlying risk factors has been evaluated to prove that my software works fine and there is no integrity issue in that. So my suggestion to all the faculties and the future pharmacists also, that whenever you are adopting any software or suggesting it, it should be the reputed brands and software which is tested and time tested products where the implementations are easy. If it is a homegrown kind of thing to reduce the cost, might be it will be the implementation become more challenging, and the correlation between the different functions cannot be established in a seamless manner. So that is why the pharmaceutical industry will also see a dramatic uptick in the migration towards the modern LIMS systems that are capable of capturing and protecting complex data according to today's standards. The migration will help business leaders to reduce the cost of lab by eliminating manual data tasks while de-risking their data management practices, ensuring that all the data are attributable, legible, contemporaneous. That is the ALCOA plus concept, which talks about the reproducibility of the data, authenticity of the data, legibility of the data, and in an understanding format where suppose somebody is reviewing it after 20 years also, they should know exactly what is the concept I have used to record my data, which can be understandable in the coming days by the future persons who are going to review all those data. So this ALCOA plus concept is another interesting thing which has come across, where they expect this concept to be adopted while we preserve our data. So now the question comes, what are the key indicators? Who are the pharma's future digital leaders? So the champions are always at the top, as we know. And for a digital transformation, the strategy to succeed, it requires the active support of a visionary CEO and executive leadership team will be embraced outside the expertise and listen to those impacted, the end users inside their R&D and QC labs. So basically, you have to understand the concept, the culture, the intentions comes from the top management. This is where the top management has to gear up to activate and initiate the process to ensure that the future challenges are met with the proactive actions by installing these things, the required thing for the future survival. A rollout plan that balances ambitious goals with continuous learning. So the lab have tremendous potential to lead a drug company's digital overall, but only if the deployment strategy is designed for incremental rollout, ensuring smooth and informed adoption based on which lab functions are best positions to transition first. For example, many digital transformation strategies start in the R&D lab, where the IT can test, configure, and learn from the new LIMS technology in a smaller. So basically, it is a pilot project. What is being talked out here? See, rolling out a plan is the biggest challenge. Let me tell you, we all feel good listening to the digital platform, but let me tell you, implementation of the digital platform and making it success, it takes sometimes years if it is not strategized in a meaningful manner, in a proactive manner, or in a manner seeing all the risk factors, because you have to understand when you transform from manual to digital, it is a big Herculean task in a running factory where you cannot disturb the current practices, but silently at the back of the screen you have to implement, and then gradually you have to migrate to the digital screen with all the risk factors in place after its proper qualification. So I have seen and I have experienced also, sometime it has taken 5 to 6 years, even 7 years to completely migrate to the SAP system from the manual system, where meetings after meetings, night after night, we have worked together to understand, because there will be bottleneck, there will be users issue, because if the variabilities are not taken into consideration while designing the software, where the rarest of the rare cases can happen, which will stop the whole process, then obviously you have to understand it is like jamming the whole process where things will not move. So what are the alternatives? What type of deviations we can adopt to simply overcome this? And then by that time we contact the IT partners to overcome this. So those are the learnings what I learned in practical way. So obviously this is learning, interesting, as well as it is challenging also to successfully implement the digital platform by migrating from manual to cloud-based. A strategic partnership with the right technology innovator. Now here comes the answer, where my colleagues who are already involved, like pioneers in this digital platform, can talk the difference between the homegrown and the professional software. The pharmaceutical companies are in business of drug discovery, manufacturing, not software development. So obviously we need to take the support of the experts who are pioneer in this field. So carefully selecting the right partner to fill that capability gap is the key. Ensuring the smooth implementation and validation of the highly configurable, cloud-ready, out-of-the-box digital systems, which is easy to adopt and easy to migrate. So to implement and to ensure that it has been a success, we need clear and achievable KPIs. Basically, in the other words, if I have to tell, it is a roadmap to be laid out with complete quantitative, in a quantitative manner, where the KPIs will be spelled out clearly, the stakeholders will be named, the roadmaps will be created with time-bound program, and a close tracking has to be there to understand about the daily, weekly, monthly, yearly development, how holistically we are transforming ourselves to the digital platform. So who are the pharma future digital leaders? So here I have tried to give some insight about the digital transformation is open flattened to include any initiative that moves users off of paper and onto computers. True digital transformation is so much more than that. It is about the way of the pharmaceutical companies use technology and data to build a business ecosystem, thereby reducing the risk, accelerating innovations, and driving growth. Some labs born in this digital age will never know anything but the power of advancement data analyst to achieve the successful business outcomes. Others will need to overhaul the legacy system in order to keep up. For both, the lesson is the same: to survive and increasingly become the competitive in the regulated pharmaceutical environment. A flexible and integrated digital network is a must. That's why the true digital transformation in 2020-21 is all about. So we have to understand that can be a different level. Like in my company, I'm thinking why to issue the controlled copy of the SOP in tons of pages and printouts are wasted. And one inspection comes, some small corrections are suggested. Then I have to issue 15 copies of the controlled copy to all my department heads. Why not I make it digital? So why not it is a touch screen in the workplace where people can go through it, where the retrieval is a click of a button, and I can issue it where with the user login ID, people can go through the SOP in a digital format so that the place is clean, the retrieval is easy, and the access is also very much in place. And the person who has gone through the SOP is creating a record as they're entering and reading with a time lag. For all the SOP pages they go through, there is evidence and proof on the digital record is getting created that yes, this person has read this SOP and this is the digital footprint which he has created by logging in through the user ID pin provided to him. So these are the kind of things which I talked about the digital platform that pharma is adopting. But there are also opportunities beyond the pill. The most profound part of the business transformation is called beyond the pill. So what is this concept? It is already impacting the core business in clinical development and patient care. Pharma companies are facing immense challenges on improving the patient outcomes. At the same time, with the intensifying competition on the pricing pressures. So we have the pricing pressures being generic company. You have to understand, India does not hold that much of patent like the US company. We are the generic players. We are the hub of medicine, but we are all generic players where the price competitions are always there. So it is now beyond the pill business is to reach the patient and understand and take feedback from it to introduce the innovation, to add value to the same molecule to make it more user friendly for the patient. So the next generation of pharma products already available vary from patient specific biomedicines to medical devices with the capability to provide patients real-time information about their conditions and collect patient data of care analytics to improve the treatment. So basically we are trying to understand the patient requirement in a close manner so that we know exactly what is the patient requirement so that we can reform ourselves, our dosage, our packaging, our product, our reach to the patient. So this is a new concept been adopted, and this is the new business mantra where pharma companies are looking beyond the pill. It is not a conventional producing the pill anymore, but it is beyond. So these new technologies not only can help the companies to address several major care challenges, but such as the compliance and chronic diseases management, but also can help them to create financial boost in values. This has already led the pharma manufacturers capitalizing beyond the bill business transformation. So a lot of companies have come across. To name a few, like Novartis, GSK, Novo Nordics are already investing in partnership with the new business model with the technological companies like Google, IBM, Qualcomm, not to mention traditional device manufacturers like even Apple, Samsung, and Nokia, who are already reaching beyond the wellness products. Like you might be seeing Apple producing the wellness band or the health watch, what it is recording the heartbeat, the ECG, the oxygen level, everything. So they also understand that their technology, being not only a mobile phone instrument provider, but also to get into the healthcare business, to create the products which will take care of the wellness. So where the digital platform being adopted by pharma, even the IT people are also trying to get into the wellness business through their expertise to capture the data from the market to introduce the value addition factors in the patient care market. So this is basically a revolution towards the digital transformation. This is a real revolution actually, the concept. All these will substantially improve the personal medication development and care processes where the patient and the care data in the new source of innovations and competitiveness. So during the recent study of the global pharma companies, perspective of the future successful pharma manufacturing side, the study identified changing expectation of success, moving from site stability to site agility. So what is this agility? These are the three key requirements actually. Flexible production, a site's ability to accommodate changes in production demands. Now, as I told you that by adopting the concept of dry mix rather than the wet granulation, the productions can be enhanced, productivity can be enhanced. By suppose cutting short of the drying of the sugar, one shift was saved and I could produce 4 more batches during that shift time. Integrated quality balance and integrated quality systems. Why this is required? Suppose I have multiple units. If under the corporate umbrella, I created a integrated quality system where all my plants follow the same system under the same umbrella, then what is happening actually from the diversity, I am bringing all under the one roof so that the risk of the variations, variability, and the failures can be minimized by following the same system across, which becomes the culture of the company. So compliance is basically the culture which to be adopted, and it comes from the top level management who introduces this culture down the level through integrated quality management system. Then it also helps us to entering the new domains, having the ability to quickly absorb the knowledge to implement new practices. So information is all over. We can Google it. If we don't know anything, we are the expert, at least in the understanding level about that subject. So by acquiring knowledge, so let me tell you, suppose I see that my price factor, which has been introduced by DGFT, with the essential products have come under the price control. So what is the survival mode? So I have to find out a new arena or a new domain where I can introduce a new wing attached to our core business, which will become the survival mode. Like many people are coming, adopting the nutraceuticals, which is giving a cutting edge to their business growth, because nutraceuticals, the stringent laws, still US is framing, but not to that level where they can actually crucify like what they're doing for the pharma. So people, and then the price control is not there because these are the wellness product, and people have also understand that proactive actions are better than reactive, why not I take the nutraceuticals or the herbals or the healthcare products, which as a lifestyle become a part of lifestyle, so that I can build up my immunity. I can adopt this medicine not as a treatment, but as to at least ensure that the wellness is maintained. So in this world, whatever you market in a manner in the wellness market, it is getting absorbed, where the regulatory hassles are less, but the business opportunities are more. So these are few examples what the pharma people are adopting by understanding the need of the patient and in which area they are attractive. Even today, if you see if you go to a departmental store, you will find hundreds of varieties of tea. You are also confused that which tea will affect my good health, like ginger, tulsi, this, that, even haldi milk, which was a traditional given by our grandmothers, are also become a golden latte in the modern name. And I think US has also patented that. I'm not very sure. So these kind of concepts, which are the age-old concept, are getting marketed in a new format, where it is getting gaining the popularity in today's world. To adopt the alternative means rather than getting treated with the conventional medicine, because patients have also understood every medicine they take has its own side effect. So they want to get cured by increasing their immunity in a different platform. So this means that the pharma companies already clearly perceive that the future competitiveness is at stake due to the external and internal drivers. So there are two major heads where the pharma companies are going to face the competitiveness. So what are in the external drivers? Those are the healthcare costs are increasing, regulatory pressures are increasing, increased competition from the generics product running out of patents, and new drug categories emerging. So this I have already explained in detail in my previous slide. So this is a snapshot of the areas which are coming under the external drivers. And in internal drivers, in the operation, it is coming like cost pressure, changing the R&D strategy, the global production, standardization. So these are the internal drivers which is becoming more coming into the competitions. So in addition, the pharma manufacturing infrastructure is also looking forward towards the implementations are highly complex with an increased number of connected equipment and internal and external system integration. The pharma ecosystems is highly networked with the pharma industry specific requirement. Example for the collaborative R&D data management, supply chain, regulatory compliance reporting. So what is happening? The integration with the customer department is also a success story, because there are different functions, different departments. But if we have to get the combined result as the conclusion, then of course the integrity to be established between the customer department, so that we really understand what is the value addition we can do when we study the whole process in a combined manner. So, and this helps us a lot to understand what are the innovations we need to adopt for the survival. And these fundamental pharma ecosystems, business models, and technology that changes are the factors leading to a new manufacturing and product supply industry that is called as the new pharma reality. So this is the new pharma reality, surviving within the challenges, identifying the scope of opportunities, adopting very fast by gaining knowledge and insight from the past data, and then making us ourselves fittest to face the new challenges which are waiting in the coming days. What is the future outlook of the pharma companies? Internet of Things and pharma industrial internet. So the new pharma reality, what I spoke about now, and beyond the pill business, are the transformations which is actually going to affect the whole product life cycle, from R&D to product supply and patient care, and eventually it will bring patients and their quality of life to the center of the pharma business. So basically, as a pharma manufacturer, till date, we were putting the product, the pill, in the nucleus And we are supporting to produce a pill with all adopting the GMP norms by adopting the quality circle. But the focus is changing from the pill to the patient's health as the center point of pharma business. So this is the new pharma reality when I talk about beyond the pill business. This industry transformation, the pharma digitalization, consists of two major concurrent and complementing digital ecosystem, that is Internet of Things and pharma industrial internet. So let us understand what exactly these things are. So the best way to conceptualize the pharma digitalization is to describe it from the product life cycle and product supply network point of view, how getting the medicines from development to patient will improve and change. So this is the platform, how getting the medicines from development to patient will improve and change. This also helps with understanding the differences between pharma IoT and pharma industrial internet ecosystem. So this may look these are simple things with the insight. If somebody is adopting these tools, they can really get magical figure to add value, not only on the economic side, on the financial side, but also on the technical side also. If you see the pharma internet of things, where it talks about the ecosystem management, talking about the patient and end user services and the devices, research and development. So basically what is happening, we produce the product, we ensure that it is manufactured in the compliant form, we establish the traceability, track and trace, then we go for the collaboration for the IT support with our logistic fleet management team, and then we supply the product to the market. We do a complete analysis based on the patient feedback and to understand what are the services needs to be improved through the feedbacks and through the database generations what we have. Then again the circle gets completed, it comes to research and development with all the understanding that how our product needs to look in the coming days based on the feedback what we have collected from the market. So basically it is not medicines alone are offered not enough for patient to achieve the optimal clinical outcome. And as the current product pipeline dry up, beyond the pill business can be valuable as the new sources of revenues. So this has actually created the interest of utilizing the new technologies and business processes in development and patient care, leading to pharma internet of things, or the pharma. Yes, that is the pharma internet of things. Now the future outlook of pharma companies, how it looks, the industrial internet of things. So if you see, the basic success story is how I am establishing my business through innovations, by adopting all the security measures, by establishing a defined quality management system, then taking the feedback from the consumers, then connecting the devices and the software which will talk to each other in the collection of the data, then understanding the scalability of my product with a flexible shop floor, where I understand that if my requirements are going up and it is a success story, obviously I have to meet the improved requirement or the requirement which has gone up twofold, threefold, how I am going to go for the scalability without increasing my infrastructure cost, running cost. Because as I told you, the today's mantra is to make the shop floor area flexible, where my energy cost does not bleed me when the production levels are less. Then might be my cost incurring to run the facility will be more than what business I am doing. So then intelligent scalability has to be in place. And by adopting the robotic concepts, like let me tell you, in my past company, I have put set across and installed a robotic warehouses where hardly there will be two people to handle the whole warehouse, which includes the starting material, the finished goods. It will be serialized with the track and trace barcodes, where the robotic hands will pick them up, store it, and keep in memory the location. When I need, I have to, with the press of a button, those things will come out and it will be dispensed, it will be placed in front, so that I can avoid lot of confusion searching the materials where it has been kept, or engaging lot of manpower and physical activities. So these are the, now the auto coordinators are also example of robotics, where 20 people can be replaced with 2 or 3 people, and the speed is constant. Speed is much higher than the manual process, and the reliability factors can be established where the manual errors can be overcome. The wrong leaflet with the pharma code we can catch, rogue carton we can catch, the machine will stop with alarm. So the rogue foil, the machine will stop. So what basically we are doing, without engaging much manpower, we are getting more reliability on the product which is getting packed in a very consistent manner. Suppose today I don't have 10 manpower due to the festive season, my output goes into dock. But in case if it is a auto coordinator which works on the robotic concept, will never put me down, because it does not require manpower. 24/7 it can run if it is qualified and serviced and maintained well. Yes, it is a one-time cost, no doubt about it, but the reliability failure, and it will also help us to avoid the recall. But let me tell you, 90% of the recall happens due to the wrong packaging material being used, or the mix-up or the rogue carton. It is not because of the quality, because of the mix-up of the labels, cartons, or anything else. So we can avoid that 90% chances of recall by adopting the robotic concept, by utilizing the auto coordinators. So these are the basically value addition areas where I can improve my productivity, the flexible scalability, taking the market informations, I can redevelop my product based on the market need. So this actually platform gives the digitalization transformation of the pharma product supply infrastructures, from manufacturing the medicines to dispensing the medicines to the patient. Let me tell you, we all talk about GMP, but there is another new concept of GDP has also come, good distribution practices, because regulators have understood that it is not only the quality to be maintained while producing the drug or the medicine, but also the temperature to be maintained while we are supplying it across the world. If there are excursions, then it can also go for a compromised approach for the product quality, which is not supported by the stability. That is the reason that tracking, the sensors are all put in place, which will be tracking the temperature, the relative humidity, the location of the place, the predictions that when it will be reaching the destination. So all those things are getting all clubbed in the cloud server, where the informations are delivered to the customers in a real-time manner, and also the supplier or the manufacturer, they can also track that how their product is behaving, how the product is getting transferred. Apart from GMP, that GDP concept has also, so that is the reason nowadays the UK MHRE inspectors, they call themselves as GMDP inspector, good manufacturing and distribution practices inspector. So future outlook of the pharma companies. So the key infrastructures and capabilities in pharma industrial internet are manufacturing intelligence, continuous and automated, light out manufacturing. Means what? It will be sometime after some time, it will be completely, no human beings will be involved in manufacturing activities. That is what is the future, where 50 to 60% automation has already been in place. Software controlled packaging execution, serialization and automation through robotic. As I talked about the auto coordinator and that 2D barcodes, which is the GTIN number, that's random serialization. Then integrated supply chain, as I talked about the traceability and the collaboration with the fleet management. Enterprise backend IT cloud-based services utilizing the data from the product supply, analytics, life cycle management, and regulatory compliance reporting. So it is unavoidable in one word, I can say. In addition to the manufacturing and service infrastructures, Pharma industrial internet will enable drastic changes in business models and global manufacturing operations. Because as we are going with collaborations, a lot of collaborations are happening, a lot of partnerships are happening, because for a win-win situation where each of the partners are sharing their own strength to ensure that they all go global. And it is a win-win situation where somebody might be having the marketing expertise, somebody might be having the product license in a regulated market. I become the contract acceptor where I'll be accepting the contract, I'll be supplying to the PL holder, to the product license holder. Somebody will be the importer who has a warehouse, who has the expertise to market the product to the distributor level and the retail level. So basically, to cut short, I am talking about a tri-party agreement kind of thing or partnership where somebody has the strength in producing, somebody in marketing, somebody in warehousing, somebody having the product license. So they are the authors of the IPR, the intellectual property. We are the manufacturer. So these kind of that real life example why I'm giving, just to make you understand that these are the life, real life scenarios where alone a brand cannot survive without going for partnership to harness each other's strength. Suppose I want to go digital, so I have to go with a golden handshake with a IT expert where they will provide me a platform and support me in my business through their expertise. So the third-party manufacturing and global product that just now I explained in a detailed manner. So in the longer term, this can lead to a platform economy where the ecosystem and innovation management will be the source of the competitive advantage rather than owning the manufacturing and product supply assets. So pharma digitization is transformation and not disruptions. So what is actually transforming us? What are the drivers which is actually pushing us towards the transformation? It is the healthcare market challenges, the complex regulatory requirements, increasing operational challenges, complexity, manual errors, costly manpower is becoming costly. Healthcare market challenges mean regulatory issues, price factors. Then what is it that people are adopting towards the transformation? It is beyond the pill, as I told, adopting the new pharma reality concepts. Then the digital ecosystem where I'm talking about the pharma IoT and the pharma industrial internet. In the healthcare segment, it is the patient-centric care and not the pill-centric business, where the new therapies are getting introduced. May not be the new molecule, but the new therapies which are evolving for our survival and also ensuring better health care, providing a platform for the patients in need. So to conclude, I can tell that the digitization has the potential to fundamentally transform pharma operations, opening the door to step change improvements in performance. Pharma companies should get started on this journey, taking immediate steps to digitize their operations and supply chains and develop a strategy and a roadmap for the next 3 to 5 years. Those companies that seize the initiative can give themselves a sustainable competitive advantage, operate with a greater agility, cost efficiency and control, and ultimately provide better care for the patients. So this is the focus for the future, patient care. After all, we already know that from the human history that it is not the strongest that survive, not the most intelligent, but the one who is most responsive to change. They will only survive the future challenges, and we hope that we will come across with flying colors by adopting the change through the flexibility, through the awareness, through the proactive actions in place. And of course, the bigger challenges will lie to the future pharmacists who are getting ready now. They are still in the college boundaries. Might be they are going to see a true digital pharma platform where the complete concept what we are talking today might have gone to a different dimension by the time they come and get themselves engaged. Thank you. Thank you a lot for patient hearing.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mahapatro, for your excellent presentation. It's really an excellent presentation. It's a juicy lecture which you have explained in a crystal clear way, and I hope definitely it has enriched our participants. You have explained the digital transformation of the industry, pharma industry, right from paradigm shift, right from data generation to advanced data analysis, predictive analysis, decision making, less failure, keeping the quality, more efficiency, keeping the without compromising the quality,
Correct.
with the help of artificial intelligence and data analytics. You have also explained that tech-driven manufacturing towards handling tightened data integrity regulators, and concept of Alpha Plus is really excellent. You have explained the users' trouble, users' issue and bottleneck elaborately. Beyond the field, new pharma reality, IoT, patient-centric care. So a lot of things we came to know that is really emerging for the future needs. So now we will start the question and answer session. May I start it?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we have received a couple of questions. One professor, he asked that what are the new areas we should learn that can be percolated to the students? Can we implement LIMS in our lab to replace cumbersome lab record books? Can research work can be driven by LIMS regarding various aspects like cost, material handling, result output, deep insight of the results and outcome?
Correct. Let me answer this. First of all, I will request all the faculty. I am thankful that this question has been raised. First, my request will be that adopt the QMS. See, I am a person who is always thinking of ROI, that is a return of investment. If I am going to invest, what is the return in that case? So question comes that nothing comes very cheap, especially the digital platform. You take a small platform or a big platform, might be the user licenses are less, but obviously the software is going to cost big. So what will be my suggestion in this case? First, adopt the QMS, the current quality management system, where the regulators, the technical document, the WHO TRS is talking about the lab. Suppose if I talk about from basic to upward, let me adopt the schedule L1, what our Indian FDAs are talking about, the lab requirements. Then let me go towards the WHO requirements, where what they expect. What is the CFR requirement, the 21 CFR part 11. First, if I can make a long list of the requirement, and then I can segment it based on the instruments, based on the practices, based on the record keeping. So if I can segment it, and first let me do one thing, let me start making the SOPs for all those things. Let me understand what is IQ, what is URS, users requirement, what is IQ, what is OQ, what is PQ, how to calibrate it periodically, what are the templates being recommended by the regulators to be maintained, what are the calibration schedules to be maintained. What is happening actually, I am giving a shape to a skeleton. So once I give a shape to the skeleton and I get acquainted with the industry practice about maintaining the document formalities as good as the industry, which does not cost money, it costs some time, some involvement to define the quality management system. Now comes the adoption of LIMS. Now LIMS, if I am adopting, question comes, what it is that my LIMS I am going to get benefit out of it. Now, if it is research related to keep my history record, if the quantum is too big, then LIMS is going to help me out. Otherwise, believe me, these are not the investment in lakhs, these are in crores. So I have to understand what is my ROI, what is the value addition. If I spend multiple of crores, what is the return I'm going to get? Is it that I'm going to collaborate with the industry and in multi-locational, I'm going to develop a lot of innovative research product, and for that I need LIMS? Yes, LIMS is required. If not, then first step is that let me adopt the GLP activities through the SOPs, through the qualification, so that the people, the students know that tomorrow when I go to join an industry, these are the requirements I have to comply. So that is the first step of adopting the QMS. Now transforming from the adoption of the QMS to digital. For that, I will suggest in this case, because you are not undergoing the regulatory challenges or inspection, might be small level software, homegrown software can be utilized, where it will give you the limited, it will comply with your limited requirement, and it can also give you a sense of the digital platform, how it looks and how it is operated. So that will be my suggestion if you sincerely ask me about value for money, because we are all now techno-commercial. I got out from the college as a technical person, but every decision what I take, I understand it is a costing to the company. So my decision, when company has given me a blank check to sign and my decision is costing, I have to understand what is my ROI, return of investment. So in this case, I will tell to take it into two stages. First, understand the rule of the land through schedule, adopting the schedule L1 and the global requirement, create the SOPs, which is not a cost effective thing, then convert into the digital platform in a smaller manner to get the essence of digital platform.
Thank you. Thank you. Another question.
Yeah.
Another question, is this digitalization of all process during manufacture of a formulation can able to implement the transparency with regulatory agencies to follow up the unit in a day basis rather than inspect?
No, basically, what is the question? It is the automation of the operations.
Should I repeat this question?
Yeah, what exactly is the expectation that I want to know?
He has asked, is the digitalization of all process during manufacturing of a formulation can able to implement the transparency with regulatory agencies to follow up the unit in day basis rather than inspect physically?
No, basically, you have to understand when the regulators come, they are all known as the GMP inspections are now termed as risk-based inspection. It is no more that normal GMP inspection, risk-based inspection. So what is this risk-based inspection? Every activity has associated risk where something can go wrong unnoticed. So we have qualitative risk, we have quantitative risk. And some places where the risk is unnoticed, which is underlying, that the risk rating goes up. So we have to understand which are the high risk areas which will not be coming under the notice. Then we think what type of automation we can put in place where this risk can be avoided. Now it comes up from the question. I understand if A to Z, from starting from A to completing the process Z, if I am putting all automated system, is it going, it is the mantra to escape the regulatory challenges? Yes, it will of course help us to demonstrate the platform in a transparent manner. Now we have to understand, the more I go digital, the more is also the risk of creating digital footprint where I'm getting completely exposed. Now, as per their regulations, if something has gone wrong, they expect it has to be discarded. Although the risk is minimal, but they will not try to take the risk as regulator. So we have to understand which are the areas I need to expose myself, which are the areas for myself I need digitalization, where I cannot afford the quality issues, which will help me to throw the product in the gutter. And it is not only the process, it is the process output which is coming in the digital format, how I'm going to present it. Because I have to tell you, in industry, you follow batch manufacturing record, batch packing record. Manufacturing record collects all the data. Now, in my company, what I'm adopting is, like in an iPad, people can fill the document in real time. It is a manual feeding. It is not something, it is a digital, but not, the data are not getting collected from the machine to populate my DMR pages. It is a manual entry, but it is a real-time entry, and it is supported by the printouts which are coming out from the machine. And the extreme digitalization is that I am not doing anything. My BMR is getting created by getting it populated from the data released through the LAN connection through my format. The data are getting populated and my BMRs are getting field automated. That is the highest level of transparency or the digital platform yet to adopt by pharma companies in complete manner, and it has its own risk. Suppose there is a failure, completely everything will get jammed. So there has to be alternative process in case the server goes down for 4 hours. I cannot stop my process for 4 hours. What are the
Absolutely.
alternative means? I should also put it as a subsidiary or as an alternative method. Against a deviation, I should be allowed to do that in a defined manner. So this is what. Yes, it can be implemented. The answer is yes, but it adds its own risk. We have to do a complete risk assessment in qualitative and quantitative manner, and we have to ensure that all my inputs, what I'm trying to demonstrate to the regulator, are in compliance with the 21 CFR Part 11.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, last question. That may be the question of many people. To implement the relationship between the academia and industry, what will be the easy process to conduct or get support to do any small project or research or get a grant from industry that will be beneficial for both segments? Very pertinent question.
Yes, see, it can be, as I told you, that in any business, there are partnership models coming out to harness each other's strengths. Suppose I have one strength, you have one strength, and we understand each other's strength and then go for a joint collaboration. So obviously,
exactly.
This can be, even I will suggest, if people want to have a real asset for their project, they can come to the industry. Suppose many people cannot be adopted, 1 or 2 people, and they can be scattered throughout India with the connections that they go do a project, development project, understand what is quality by design, understand how the SOPs are being followed, what are the limbs been getting practiced. So these kind of things, when they understand during their project, it is not only the paper what they are submitting, but they are bringing tons of real life experience, and might be, if they're performing well during their industrial training, they may be adopted by the company itself. Okay, you have done a good job, why don't you come back after submitting a project, join our R&D or our factory or like that. So that also support I have given. Not many people have come, they have got trained. Even R&D also, few people come, not in big numbers like in pharmacy industrial training, B-Pharm, but 1 or 2 people for 2 months, 6 months kind of thing, where they get trained and go back. So these kind of things we can already give. And for understanding the industrial requirement, I will suggest all are having smartphones and things active. Let them go through the guideline, the WHO guideline, the Drug and Cosmetic Act, what is Schedule M talking about, what are their expectations, or what is GLP, what is good distribution practice, ICH guidelines, EU GMP guidelines, CFR, some small chapters. People can actually frame a community rather than getting more activated in the students getting activated in normal Facebook kind of thing where they're posting their photographs. They can create a community. There is a LinkedIn where there is a community where people like us are exchanging our views, ideas, new latest. Even believe me, every day, 1 or 2 hours minimum, I will go through my subject matter, understand from my colleagues what are the latest launches been, or somebody has got the warning. While coming back, I'll be reading that to understand, is it my factory lacks in this same manner, so that from others' mistake I learn, and next day I go and implement and go for a change control so that those mistakes can be overcome. So it is a continuous learning process. Support can be given, but it is a timely manner, but continuous through community. As I suggested, any of us can be on the virtual platform to train your student on different subjects based on their interest, or there are different guidelines which even the student can learn and give a training to their faculty so that their understanding can be known in a better way. So there are a lot of alternative ways to understand and adopt the new concept quickly, so that every student who are going to join the industry are actually industry ready. So this is what I will suggest.
Sir, please unmute your mic, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mahapatro. And I hope that your presentation definitely has made an increment to our existing knowledge. Now, may I request Professor Pranabes Chakraborty to say the concluding remarks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Thank you, sir.
You have given extensive, elaborative idea and concept to our faculty members, by which I think and hope most of the faculty members have become enriched, and certainly in near future, who they have the less industrial focus, they will they have gathered information from your extensive depiction, and certainly if any more question they have after the total program is over, we have kept one day for interaction. They will ask you questions, they will interact along with the students, and if more things are to be known, you give your email ID so that they can communicate you directly. And
I'm always open to answer.
Whenever you will be giving the reply, send a copy to the question who have made it and a copy to us, so that we can gather, because we have the plan that after this total deliberations, we will again sit with our faculty members and the university authorities to make a exclusive newsletter for this IFDF. And we are really thankful from the university point of view, department point of view, and from myself, warm wishes and regards for your so explicit deliberation, and hope in the future also, as you have helped us beforehand in every possible manner, we'll get your generous hands with our university and the department, so that it will grow with your help, advice, and suggestions. Thank you. Thank you all.